Welcome to the Emerging Professional at the Coffee Conversation Show, powered by the Emerging India Forum TIF and a tech partner, Prime Infotech Solution. Theme is content, innovation, and leadership. We have with us Vineet Gupta, an entrepreneur, journalist, educator, and content creator whose journey is a masterclass in innovation and leadership. As a founder and managing editor of Pune Now News, Vineet has reshaped digital journalism while simultaneously driving success in real estate as co-founder of PearlQuest Associates. His passion for knowledge sharing extends to academia, where he has mentored future business leaders as a faculty member. From breaking news to shaping narratives, from boardrooms to classrooms, Vineet has worn multiple hats with equal finesse. Join us as we dive deep into his story, explore his insights, and uncover the lessons behind his dynamic career and also know Vineet as a person. So, welcome, Vineet, to today's coffee conversation.
Pleasure to be here.
So, let me explain you the flow and the format. It's divided into three parts: professional, personal, and a surprise, the rapid fire round, for which you have to be witty, fun, and quick. And you'll get this book, Niche Marketing, which will be autographed and sent to you. So, friends, I'm Lion Amir Virani, host at Coffee Conversation, legal tech evangelist at Prime Minister Solution, author of 15 books. We help law firms, corporate legal startups, SMEs with world-class technology, software licensing, and tech training solutions. So, my first question, Vineet, how was the journey shaped till date?
The journey is coming along very well. Of course, the journey has a lot of milestones, so we are achieving milestone by milestone, along with the potholes on the way.
Okay. So, Vineet, I'll divide your journey into two parts because journalism and real estate, and there are other hats also. So this way, the viewer will get to know your journey together. So balancing journalism, sorry, the media landscape is rapidly evolving. Where do you see digital journalism heading in the next 5 years, Vineet?
Digital journalism, in fact, journalism itself has come a long way from the conventional journalism, the print media. Now, what has happened is that people look at real-time information, and that is why digital journalism has emerged. And with this emergence of artificial intelligence, there is a lot of influence of artificial intelligence in content creation and understanding what is, people's liking and disliking. So digital journalism has a lot of potential in the future. That is the future of journalism because it has a strength of real-time reporting, whereby if you look at print media, whatever breaking news happens today will be reported only tomorrow morning. But by tomorrow morning, it is already stale. So digital journalism has a lot of scope in future because now people look at everything in real time.
Wow. So, Vineet, you have built a news platform that goes beyond Pune to cover multiple cities. What inspired to start Pune Now News and what sets it apart?
Yeah, so this all started during the pandemic lockdown, whereby everybody was looking forward to latest news in terms of lockdown news, in terms of the infection status, etc. So there were two, three gaps that we identified at that time. One was that we needed some a media channel that was hyper local, which could tell me what is happening around in my locality or a couple of localities around me. Secondly, I wanted to know what is the real-time news in terms of, situation in the morning and situation in the afternoon and the evening. And finally, we wanted to hear this news from a credible source whom we can trust. So these three factors basically prompted us to create something to address these gaps in journalism. And that's how Pune Now was born during the COVID times. And we started our journey very humbly from, starting with the news of our area. But as we grew and expanded, more and more people started reading. And then people from different cities also started writing to us that, such a wonderful piece of work that you're doing. Why don't you also expand to our city? So that's how we expanded from Pune to Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad. So these are the cities majorly which we are covering right now.
Wow. So, Vineet, integrity is key in journalism. How do you ensure that Pune Now News maintains credible and unbiased reporting?
Oh, yes, Amir, it is very important to hold credibility because people completely trust you and they take your word. So, we have always prioritized credibility over sensationalism. If you sensationalize a news, it could bring you better returns, better readership, and quickly give you a lot of returns on investment. But we thought we wanted to play the long run game, in the sense that people should trust us. After reading our news, they shouldn't find out from some other sources that okay, that news was not correct, and this is the correct version. So we hold on to a news till we get it verified from the original sources, from where the news is generated, and the entire team is sensitized to the fact that the news can get delayed. We can even omit a news unless we are absolutely sure about the authenticity of the news. And we have also uh, got a lot of advantages because of this credibility and integrity in journalism. A lot of people have connected with us and said that your news is always the correct, most correct one, appropriate one, even if it is slightly late, because we spend some time verifying. But credibility is very important for the long run.
So, what has been most memorable news coverage? And I'm dividing into two parts. One is a memorable one, and second, challenging one.
Right. So the most memorable news coverage was in 2023. I mean, that is what the entire team and I used to enjoy covering. So in 2023, there was a period of time where a lot of Vande Bharat trains were being launched. And
Hmm.
almost every 15 days, a new Vande Bharat train would be launched connecting two pairs of cities. So that used to be very exciting news, because Vande Bharat, a technologically superior train, was being launched for the first time in India, and everybody, including the news creators, were excited about it. And what was most enjoyable was that whenever we used to report a story that okay, today, like for example, today CSMT to Shirdi Vande Bharat has been launched. So there will be other people from other cities writing to us, please find out when Vande Bharat is going to be launched from our city, what is the plan. So it brought us a lot of connect, alongside giving us pleasure from within, that okay, this country is progressing so much, and we are here right at the right time to report it. So that was an experience which extended to about 6 to 8 months, where almost every fortnight a new Vande Bharat was being launched. So that was a very memorable news episode that the entire team still remembers. As far as challenging news reporting is concerned, I think the reporting of the anticipation, the exit polls of 2024 Lok Sabha elections, that was very challenging, because there were very conflicting reports coming in terms of the exit polls, in terms of our own interviews that we went out and conducted, in terms of the reports of other media channels. So we really didn't know which direction to take, and what kind of stance or stand we should adopt, and we were also like completely directionless until the results finally started coming in.
Wow. So, Vineet, if you could redefine one aspect of media business, what would it be?
Right. So, in media business, what happens, Amir, these days is that most of the media houses, big and small, they are dependent upon ad revenue for their incomes. Ad revenues have been increasingly becoming volatile in the past few years, and their dependency on search engines. So that is one thing that I would like to redefine, and not just like to redefine, Amir. In fact, I'd like to tell you that we are in the process of making our media channel independent of the search engine's performance and ad revenue, in the sense that whether a search engine shows our news or not, whether we are showing ads or not, the media channel should continue, and that way media channel will be able to also maintain integrity because we are completely independent. We are not dependent on a third party. So subscription models, premium subscription models is the way to future.
That's beautiful. Yes. So, Vineet, who inspired you from the world of journalism and what are the key learnings?
Right. So I will take three names. One is Raghav Bahel. His inspiration for me has been in the digital transformation of journalism. Then the respected journalist Shekhar Gupta. Shekhar Gupta has been a fearless journalist, and he has been, he's been through the entire transformation and the paradigm shift in journalism, and now he also has his own personal channel. And the last name on this list is Shiv Arur. He's just recently quit India today. And the way he used to do defense reporting 20 years back, I still remember, and I was completely impressed by him. And I am still.
Wow. Okay, let's go to your next role. What inspired you to go into real estate venture?
Yeah. So my own home buying experience inspired me to get into real estate because when I was looking at buying a home in Pune, the experience was very, very challenging and taxing in the sense that, the total number of available, I mean, the different types of flats that were available, nobody had the consolidated data, and we had to run from site to site looking at the properties, and people were quoting different rates at different times. So I thought at that time, that was way back in 2009 2010. So I thought at that time, if there is a real estate company, real estate marketing company which can consolidate all this information and solve customers 60% of the work sitting in the office, in an air conditioned office, it'll be, the home buying would become actually a pleasant experience rather than having to be a taxing experience. So what we did, we basically gathered all the data, collected all the data of all the projects that were going on in the city, with along with photographs, how many videos, whatever was possible. And then we fed all that data into a software. So then it became completely need based. The customer would come and say that, okay, I'm looking for a 2 BHK, this is my budget, and this is the area I'm looking at. So you enter those parameters, and immediately you will get the available projects that are there. And from those projects, you can even show the visuals of those projects. And then finally, out of, let's say, narrowed down from 100 to 5 projects which the customer would actually want to go and see. So it made the entire experience technology driven and very, very pleasurable for the customer. And that was our key success point at that point of time.
Wow. So, Vineet, the real estate industry has its own complexities. What trends do you think will shape the future of property consulting in India?
So now what has happened is, with the transformations that are coming in the real estate industry, first and foremost would be AI-driven analytics in terms of, what is the most popular location, what kind of, what is the area of an apartment that is most popular amongst the customers, and what floor. So AI-driven analytics will give a lot of in-depth analysis and insights into likes and dislikes of the customers, and accordingly we can suggest blockchain-based transactions and customer care, personalized customer care. So this is how it is going to be transformed. Unfortunately, RERA in Maharashtra has been also very active, and RERA ensures that all the projects are compliant. So these are the changes that are coming into real estate, and these will be definitely make home buying a pleasant experience.
Wow. So now let's go to your next career role. Uh, what inspired you to get into teaching and your mentoring role? You have mentored many students. What is one piece of advice? So I'm dividing it two parts. Okay, what inspired you to go into teaching, and uh, your next role is mentoring. So, what is one piece of advice you give young professionals entering business or media?
All right. So it so happened way back in 2007, 8, around that time, it so happened I was at the peak of my career in the corporate world, and a management college invited me for a guest lecture. And I was very nervous, and I was cursing myself to having agreed to deliver that guest lecture, because I had never delivered any lectures before that. Maybe a few training programs in the companies here and there, but not a completely student oriented lecture in a college. So I was absolutely nervous, and I went, and it was a 3 hour guest lecture on a particular topic. So I didn't know. I was wondering, what will I talk for 3 hours? And I went there somehow, exhausting all my options to cancel the lecture. It couldn't have been done. So I went there somehow, and I started talking, and I started talking. So one thing happened, came out from the other, and the students start interacting. And the next time I looked at my watch, it was 3.5 hours. And I mean, the students and we all enjoyed the lecture thoroughly, and the feedbacks that I got. And that gave me the confidence, not just the confidence, but a thought that, why not try my hand at teaching? I mean, if I can be good. And I made this transition gradually. I used to, take some visiting faculty lectures. And finally, when I was completely confident, I took the deep plunge in the deep end. As far
Wow.
as mentoring is concerned, yes, I have mentored a lot of students. In fact, formally also and informally. Formally means somebody comes to walks into my cabin and talks about a problem, and then we identify a solution or direction in life. And informally, you're walking down the corridor and somebody asks you that I need guidance on this, and then it becomes an ongoing process. So all this while, since I have spent a lot of time in the corporate world also, so all this while I have been telling my students that, they are students, so obviously they're part of a college, leading up to an educational degree. But I have been telling them that educational degrees or educational qualifications are not enough to lead a successful life. They have to keep evolving. They have to keep adapting to new skills. They have to keep acquiring new skills, because education eventually will at one point of time become obsolete. So I keep telling them that, keep adapting, keep evolving all the time, so that you remain relevant with the changing paradigms. And I also tell them that no matter what you do, the success may be a little harder to come by, but do not compromise on your values and integrity, because these, not knowing something or not being good at something could be a threat to one job. But doing something which is not ethical, or compromising on integrity, could be actually a career threatening proposition. So it is better to sometimes slow down rather than compromise on these values. So it could let it be a job threatening proposition rather than a career threatening proposition.
Wow. So, Vineet, how has your leadership style evolved over the years?
Yes. So I will be very honest with you here. Initially, I was very autocratic, and I used to believe that, I used to believe in very strict hierarchical structure in an organization. And over these years, I have realized that times have also changed, and people should be given a lot of free hand, and they should be given the space to nurture creativity and talent. And so over these years, I have evolved from being a leader who has been imposed on my people, to being a friend who is a facilitator.
Wow. So, Vineet, from marketing to operation, you have worn multiple hats. Which role do you enjoy the most and why?
All of them actually, because whether it is marketing or human resources or operations, all of them are actually intertwined and interlinked, all working towards the profitability of the organization and happiness and growth of people. And all of them are strategy driven. The only difference between marketing and operations was that, in marketing, you had to go out and meet new people and face new challenges every day. And in operations, you had to have the patience to sit in one place and do things meticulously. So that was the one transformation that was required. But besides the transformations, there were more similarities in terms of, of both of them being strategy driven, both of them being result oriented, and both of them requiring efficient and effective team management. So I have enjoyed both the roles.
Wow. So, Vineet, my last question will be, what advice would you give to young journalist who wants to take up a career in a media house? One, then want to start their own, like yours, uh, Pune News Now. They want to start up their own media house or their channel or consulting, whatever.
Right. So for young journalists, my advice would be to first gain some field experience, because nowadays what has happened is, because of the emergence of digital journalism, most of the information is now available on digital platforms. Even for that matter, the government policies, the government, when government frames a policy, the government also puts it on their website or on their social media handle. So the journalists don't have to really do much but just scan the government websites, and you will get the first hand information. But that also is dangerous for young journalists, because then they will get habituated to just having all the ready-made information. So instead, they should start their careers with the on-field journalism, maybe start with crime reporting or political reporting or civic reporting, and spend some time on the field before actually making a foray into digital journalism. And once you've done that, let's say for 3 to 5 years, you've done an on-field journalism, and now you are ready to, let's say, start a venture in digital journalism. At that point of time, I would say patience is the name of the game. This is one profession. Digital journalism or digital platforms is one thing which will require a lot of time, because there will be thousands of websites. See, I mean, I'll just like to share a little about this profession here. This is a profession which has very low entry barriers. Anybody can just take a website and design a website and start putting out news, and start calling themselves as a media house. So the entry barriers in terms of cost, in terms of effort, in terms of the skills are very less. And since entry barriers are less, so every day probably thousands of media websites are getting created, which are making the space cluttered. And they all think that it is just that you have to set up a website, get some subscribers, and get going. But that is not the case in digital journalism. What happens is that people need to, you need to win people's trust, that you are their preferred choice for news. And that will take time. No matter what you do, it will take time, 3 to 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, for people to gain your trust, and for you to gain people's trust. And people should look forward to hearing this news from you to get satisfied. So patience will be required, a lot of hard work will be required, and embracing the emerging technologies.
Yeah. My next question was, you led me on. How is AI impacting creation of a news creation, content creation, and is it enabler or a disruptor?
Yeah, AI is both being supportive and disruptive to news content creation. So it is both an enabler and disruptor, depending on how you use it. Right. So if you are using AI to completely create the news content or media content, then it is a disruptor, because you could say that you could ask an AI model that write an article for me on today's Maharashtra weather forecast. So that is a completely AI generated article, which is a disruptor, because AI will use some standard phrases. It will not do the research, and it will just put forward an article which is aesthetically appealing, but it will not have any factual information. On the other hand, you could use AI as an enabler in the sense that first you, let's say, we are talking about, let's say, writing an article about Maharashtra weather forecast for today. So you could gather the entire information from IMD websites or talking to
Mm.
IMD people, talking to SkyMet weather station, and you have gathered all the authentic data. Once you have the data, then you can ask the AI to articulate with proper, flow of the article. So that is an enabler which will save you a lot of time and effort. So that way, if it is used, it is an enabler. But if it is completely used to replace human effort, then it is going to be disruptive.
Ah. Let's go to the next round and understand Vineet as a person. Tell us about your family and your formative years.
So my formative years, I come from a defense background, and my father was in the armed forces, and my formative years have been spent at an air base in North India. And that used to be a very isolated community and far away from the civilization. So we have been raised into in a very closed community, and I come from a very small family, close knit family, who have always encouraged me to go out and try new things and supported me in all my ventures. So, and currently, so I have again, just my wife and my child, and all of them are very supportive of whatever ventures I'm into. So I'm glad to have the support of my family.
Wow. So let's go memory down the lane. Uh, your days at University of Wales. How was the experience and how has it impacted your work over the years?
Yeah, University of Wales happened after I had worked for 10 years. So I enrolled for an MBA at University of Wales, which I'm so glad, because after having worked for 10 years, I could relate, I could make the most of my MBA at University of Wales. And since University of Wales was an international MBA program, so I could get a global perspective on management aspects. And all our classmates from different countries, different ethnic, religious backgrounds, different geographical backgrounds. So we had a very wider perspective on everything in terms of, relationships, business, studies, academics, and that in fact widened my approach towards everything and made it more global.
Wow. So after a long day of news and business, what's your go-to way to unwind?
Pick up a book or go out for a long drive. No, not in this priority. Attend to my plants. That is my priority number one. I mean, my
Mm.
favorite pastime is to attend to my plants,
Mhm.
pick up a book, or go out for a long drive in this priority.
Wow. So which book are you reading right now, Vineet, and
The
why?
hard thing of the hard things. I just love the brutal perspective on management, decision making, and overall business handling. And I'm still in the process. I'm not finished, so I'm still in the process of reading it.
So, Vineet, what's your ideal weekend plan? Relaxing at home or exploring new places or anything else?
That, Amir, would depend upon how the weekend has gone by. If the weekend has been hectic and very, very busy and tiring, then obviously relaxing at home. But if the week has been nice to me, then yes, I'd love to go out, maybe take a day out and go out to exotic nature location with the family, spend some time, click some photographs, bring back some memories.
Wow. So suppose, Vineet, you have 1 month away from work gadgets. What would you like to do and why?
So, yeah, so I remember this movie Castaway, Tom Hanks
Mm.
movie,
Yeah.
where he was forcibly, without choice, stuck or stranded on an isolated island. But if I have a month and if I have my way, I would love to go on an island like that and spend 1 month away from the civilization to have complete mental and physical detox. Provided, yes, there is somebody to bring me back.
Yeah, that has to be there. The full cast away हो जाएगा.
या नहीं तो फुल कास्टर है.
ये तो वो ब्लू ओशन.
Yeah.
Okay, nice one. Okay. What's one fun fact that people or your colleague don't know about?
I am absolutely scared of dancing. And when somebody has to really bother me, they can ask me to dance or force me to dance.
Okay. So what's your plan for 2025 professionally and personally?
2025, like I said before also, we are now professionally focusing on building our subscription models and trying to move away from depending on search engines and ad revenues. So this is what we are actively pursuing now. And personally, there is a very exciting plan. My son is now finishing his board exams, 10th, and I have to take him out on an adventure holiday, long adventure holiday, just the two of us, and offbeat holiday. So 2025 is completely exciting in fact.
Wow, beautiful. So my last two are reflective one and googly also. What legacy you would like to leave behind, Vineet?
I'm glad you asked this question. So I'd like to leave behind a media channel or a media paradigm where people present news not to earn money, but they present news to inform people, and revenue should be a consequence of your good practices in media. And even if it would take an entire lifetime, I would continue working on that, and basically want to set an example in the media.
Wow. So last one, googly. Describe Vineet in one line.
Vineet is a wildlife enthusiast who is stuck in a city. Given an opportunity, he would love to retreat back to a forest. But when he is in the city, he's a strategist and a business manager who loves to create new ventures.
Beautiful. So let's go to the next round, the rapid fire, the fun round. Breaking news or feature stories.
Feature stories.
One word description of your work ethic.
Truth.
Your favorite thing about Pune.
Pune's culture.
Your go-to comfort food.
Idli sambar.
Your dream travel place.
Buddhist monastery in Tibet.
Wow. Best piece of advice received.
Hmm. Be kind. Kindness comes back a full circle.
Wow. Your favorite color.
Blue.
Favorite food dish from Pune.
Mastani.
Tea or coffee for brainstorming.
Tea. Anytime.
So you did well, Vineet, and here's a gift which will be autographed and sent to you.
Thank you so much.
So, friends, it was a lovely conversation having with Vineet, his journey, wearing multiple hats. This book is there, Edward D. Buno, Six Thinking Hats. Yes, he's doing it wonderfully, managing his recent creation, Pune News Now, as an editor, content creator, then his real estate consultancy, academia, then mentoring. So, this is what then he transitioned from the corporate world being in nature. Now he wants to take his son on a trip, solo trip. We wish him the best. Enjoy that time with him. That will be most memorable times for both of you. To wish you best of luck. So these are what coffee speakers give us that inspiration from their professional personal journey to spend time what they do best. Yes, he also spend time with his plants. There is his book, ye apna talk to your plants.
Yeah.
Mm, okay, there are many more things which we can go on and on. So, friends, subscribe to the Coffee Corner Show. There are over 350 plus episodes with different subject experts, interesting ones. Watch them, inspired, and implement in your lives. If you want to be featured, like Vineet, visit our website, the Emerging India Forum, or our LinkedIn company page, the Emerging India Forum. DM, our team will invite you to have coffee conversation. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you.